Hey guys, welcome back to Woodbine Loft again. In this video, I'm going to actually give you a tour around my race loft, which I've been thinking for quite some time to do and haven't got around to do it, but now I got the chance to show you, so I'll take you around today. Let's have a look how I got my race loft set up. Everyone's got different design, different loft, what works for them depending on the space and how much effort they put in. So I'm not a great handyman, so I got it done by someone as much as I could, and this is what I got to live with or work with in terms of my race loft. So from the front, you can see here's my landing board and the trap door. It goes all the way inside the loft, makes it a bit easier for pigeons to trap. They don't hesitate, they walk in straight inside the loft, and then they automatically clogged when they come back from the race. So this is actually a new design. I've changed my trap door a few number of times to see what works for me best. And from the top where I used to have the trap door, I now use it to let the birds out. I open that wire and the birds actually get out. So now in the front you can see I've got three little baskets there, which is the normally used for race day. So I try to simulate the exact same way to make sure the birds come out to see outside when they're young, as well as they start to learn to drink from the basket. So you can see on the side of the basket there's a couple of water container. They come out here to drink, but these 2-year-olds trying to lay egg on there, but I put plastic eggs so they don't actually hatch any babies inside the race loft, because that will make it really hard to manage the flock. And I also put a drinker here as well for birds to come out and drink, but they can actually drink from those sections that made designed for drinks. You can put your drinkers over there as well. Now, one interesting thing you'd see this equipment. I've newly started to use this. This is called mosquito zapper. The main purpose at night, you do get a lot of mosquitoes, and hence you see a lot of pigeons get pox. So if you use that at night, it actually protects the young pigeons from getting pox, killing the mosquitoes. It covers quite a bit of area, 30 meter roughly, so pretty good to have it. Very handy. I've got some lights as well if I want to come out at night, but it's not professionally done, but does the job. And you can see on the side I have turps, which I actually use in winter to cover the loft. It's very heavy, the plastic thing that we have. We buy it from Bunnings, so local hardware shop. That does pretty good job in terms of protecting them, wind blowing, and helping them not to get really cold at winter. But that's pretty much I've got in the race loft. So I'll go inside and show you a little bit of how the race loft inside, how it looks like inside, and the birds that I have. Let's go inside. In 1 second, I'll take you through other bits and pieces later on that I have, but let's go inside and see what's the birds doing. So I let the birds out this morning. They went out for a fly. I've cleaned the floor. You can see the floor I clean every day when I'm racing. I try to clean them every day just to make sure they don't pick up any disease. Even I can check their droppings. At the moment it's a bit humid weather we have in Australia, in Sydney, rainy and humid. So I'm using a pedestal fan that I have inside 24 hours now, just to help them with a bit of airflow, and it doesn't feel it's very humid. So this is my race team, mixture of few old pigeons, which are like 2 and 3 year olds, especially the red ones. It's the probably only bird is about 3-year-olds. This is 2-year-olds. Next year is going to be this year is actually 3-year-old as well. And there's a few 2-year-olds that I have as well. So I put these new perches. It's I find it easier to order it in and just place it in. Saves you a lot of time, even though it costs you a bit of money. But I put those in the new purchase in on the side, and these are I made before myself. So I've got three section. This is the main big section out of the three. That's about, I think, 2.5 meter or 2 meter. Holds about 50-60 pigeons. These are the bit smaller sized, but they still can comfortably have 35 to 40 pigeons. There are 40 pigeons in this section as well, but they obviously during the day, go place to place, section to section. Now you can see some birds sitting on the corner. I don't actually trying to make babies out of these pigeons here. They just continue to lay eggs. So what I did to avoid for them to keep laying egg is to put a nest ball. Once they lay egg, I take the eggs out, I put plastic eggs under them and let them sit as long as they want. That's the main purpose. But when during winter I will be putting doors. I took out the doors for each of the sections, and then I will try to manage what I want to keep on each side. Cocks, hens, probably separate them. They use the middle section for birds to come in from the race. So I have around 120 pigeons to start with, and then obviously, as you know, a few birds will be lost during the tossing and whatnot. So yeah, hoping to start with 100 birds to race and see how many I'm left with, and want to keep few for the year after as a 2-year-old. So they are a bit more experienced usually, and which I have this year as well. There's some 2 years old that have a bit more experience. So taking you through the birds, there are a wide mixture of birds, sprint, middle, a few long distance. I don't have many long distance, but I have few long distance as well. One funny color came out. It's looks like a show pigeon, but did come out of a race pigeon. But it's a very funny color. I couldn't even tell these pigeons are what they are right now because they're just newly introduced to the loft, so I don't know them personally yet. But I wrote down the ring numbers and their parents, what they bred from. So obviously I would have to look up their parents to see what they are. I know this guy. This guy is actually very nice and calm. I bred him. He's 2-year-old, and he done really well on the last sprint race. He was actually the second pigeon from Ganda guy. That's about 290 kilometer. He was the second pigeon landed on the board. I bred him from my race pigeon as well. Didn't think he's gonna do that well, but he was consistent. The number of races he has been to. There's another blue bar breeder. She's consistent. She continued to come, so I hope she does well next year. This year I haven't stocked many pigeon. I think last year I've only stocked 2 pigeon out of the 2 hens out of the race loft because they done really well. Some pigeons done a lot better as well, but can't stock everything because the number of stocks you have continue to grow as you go through the number of birds. So I won't stock until pigeons done really extremely well. One pigeon done very well, but I'm still two-minded whether to stock that pigeon or not. See that pigeon over there on the nest ball? She's actually was third from Little Billabong. Only 7 people got pigeon, or 8 people got pigeon from that race. That's about 350 kilometers for me. So that was the only pigeon that came back from the race on the day. It was a very smash race, hard race, like as you can see in the whole federation. There's only 8 pigeon came back on the day. That's with people letting the pigeons out to fly around 7 o'clock. So they've been flying nearly 10 hours, 7 hours. I got my pigeons at around 2:45, so about 7-8 hours flying. So very happy to see her come home on the day, and I have another 5 came home the next morning, and throughout the day. So it still was a very bad loss on the day. Um, for that particular week, the last week. We were racing middle of summer pretty much, so wasn't a really a great week for us. But anyway, that's what pigeon racing is about. Some days we're gonna have tough luck, tough week, and we have to work with it from the breeding from the best again. So yeah, so there's lot of other pigeons to talk about. So they will start to molt now, and I'll take you guys through these pigeons a bit more in detail on next videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and please share this video with your friends, or subscribe. Thanks guys, have a great day. We'll talk again. Cheers.